Hey guys.
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
Bob. Why are you wearing that shirt?
When Bob's got the shirt on, you know there's another RV project going on. Today we're going to talk about sewer and how it can go horribly wrong.
It's a stinky mess, so you better stay tuned.
On this part of the video, I just want to kind of go over an overview of what I'm going to do on this project. We've been on the road for 2 years now, or close to it, and we've got a single cable system on our valves, 2 grays and 1 black, and it's a single system. There's no other way of stopping the flow of sewer when those cables don't operate correctly. And we have what they call, it's a Lippert LCI Wastemaster system, which is a Camlock system, which is different from the Bayonet system. The manifold that our camper currently has, it has a Y pipe that comes down to a single outlet where we hook our Wastemaster hose to dump our tank. We've had some recent issues where our black tank valve does not want to operate well as it used to. It still opens and closes, but it's getting tighter. So I'm trying to put a security measure in here in case we have a problem where, say, it gets stuck open, I have no way of stopping it. On the end of this Wastemaster hose, it does have a valve, but you have to have the hose hooked up to prevent any accidents. This is what we're going to try to do, and I'm going to go over these parts. These parts came from Etrailer.com, and I chose them mainly because the valve I wanted to use. This is currently what we have on our camper on the other side, but it does not have any kind of valves. On this system, you can get this in multiple configurations. These are 2 3-inch valves. We currently have a 3-inch on the black side, which is black handle, but our gray tank from our sink in the bathroom and our washing machine are all tie into this one too. On this side is our kitchen, so it's our dishwasher and our sink, and it's a gray, but it uses a reducer. So I bought this offset reducer because that's what the factory put on. So we're going to offset this so our pipe alignment coming out of the camper, and we'll show you on the other side, will be aligned correctly. You can get this in all kinds of different configurations. This is actually a LaSalle Bristol valve, and these valves are replaceable. And the neat thing about them is that they will actually, so no matter how you glue this into your camper, you can spin these valves. So I can have one down and one up, or I can have these in the up position like this if I want to have this, you know, whatever configuration we want. And these valves are replaceable. You got these 7/16 nuts and bolts, and you can actually replace these one at a time. What we're going to do is we're going to have this guy in here. So I bought this, and I bought this part from Etrailer. We also, because we use the Wastemaster system, they got what they call a Camlock. And me being in the fuel industry all my whole life, this is what truck drivers use to offload chemicals. They use this. They don't use like the Bayonet with the 2 little tabs or the 3 tabs, because this is a positive connection, and that's what I like about the Wastemaster system. And then the dump pipe itself is smooth on the inside, so it allows it really to dump quick. So this will be glued into this place here. This piece of pipe here I bought from a local hardware store. This was like $12, and we're going to cut this to size, but this will go in here, and then I can make this length, whatever length I need this to be, to stick out. Currently they have it really short. It doesn't stick out very far at all, so that's what we're going to use with this. And then this is also a local purchase. This is 1.5 inch ABS. This is all ABS plastic, and this will go on here if we need to put this on here, whatever length. And I did buy some couplings in case we need a coupling on there. I'm hoping I can glue this all in and have this coupling, I can slide it back and forth. If I can't, I bought this connector here, and I will use this to make our positive connection on the 1.5 inch side. And this is 3.5, and this is 1.5 inch. And I bought an extra coupling. I also got this from Etrailer. You have to use the cement for ABS. You don't want to use PVS glue because this is a chemical bond. This is very strong. And then I bought this from a local hardware store, which is a clear cleaner. So you want to clean all these connections before you glue them up. So that's what I wanted to talk about on this side. We'll take you on the other side and I'll show it to you how it's going to go together, and then we're going to start getting the Sawzall out and making some cuts.
No, not cuts, Bob, not cuts.
It's going to be cuts.
It's going to be messy.
Bob's got the Sawzall out, you know, it's business. I just want to show you guys what we use as far as our hose and the difference with the Wastemaster system. This can apply to almost any camper, but most campers are set up with the Bayonet fittings. You're now starting to see a lot of the Lippert systems. I did put gloves on because these hoses have been used for 2 years. I have a dedicated black hose for flushing our black tank. We do have a black flush, so I just have a dedicated hose that I use only for that. This is our main hose. It has a Camlock fitting. So the Camlock, these hoses go in like that and they actually clamp together. So that's what we use. This hose here has got a smooth inner lining. It's corrugated, so it pulls apart. This is a 20-foot long. This is the only shutoff we have if we're actually hooked up to a line. So I have no other way of shutting this system off except for our valves, and I'll show you those in a second. The other hose I have another 20-foot hose. This hose here is like a replacement for this guy here, and I bought this fitting here and I made this up so I got a clear connection so I can hook this up on our discharge and I can actually see the liquid comes out, and this is as it goes into the pipe in the ground. So these are all of our arsenal stuff. The other thing I did, this is our joint that joins the two hoses together. But I also built, and you can buy these, but I built this. This is an extra cap I made, and I got a rubber gasket. I cut this out, and this is out of a cap. In case we do, and we have had to use this before, where we'll hook up and we'll just drain some of our gray tank, and we'll drain them into a couple 5-gallon buckets.
We take them down to the sewer and we empty them out.
We'll go 2 weeks on our black tank, so if we're at a park for 2 weeks, we're fine. And our front gray will fill a little quicker than the back gray. We rarely worry about that. The other fitting we did get, and this is in case we have to get a pump out, that's the Camlock fitting. This is a fitting you can also buy for the Wastemaster system.
Yeah, we found a lot of the honey wagons don't have the capacity to actually empty us without this piece here.
This fitting, yeah, because they just don't, because the Wastemaster, I mean, it's been out a long time, but it's not on a lot of rigs right now. You're starting to see it on a lot of motorhomes now too. This is our factory valve. As you can see, our only shut-off point was the poles that I showed you, the 2 grays and the black. So in case of emergency, we have no way of shutting off our sewer, either our gray or black.
You have to run back and try to shove it, and that's when the little thing can get broken.
Yeah, we're going to cut this out and we're going to put this guy in its place, and that way I'm going to have on this side here, on this 3-inch side, we're going to have our black tank and our rear gray tank. On this side, see how this is offset here? That's why I bought this offset piece, because I want these pipes to be in, you know, pretty much the same factory alignment like that. How this is offset here, I want this to be the same alignment in here. So I just want to, what we're going to do, we're going to come in, we're going to Sawzall this off. We're going to Sawzall this off here.
Scary.
Yep. And then we're going to glue this in. I'm going to glue this on a slight angle, and I'm probably going to extend this because the factory's got this nipple right up against here. I'm probably not going to give it as much of an angle down because it's already pretty low to the ground. I'm going to angle it up just a little bit.
Yep.
And then I'm going to put a little longer nipple on here. I'm probably going to put these poles out. I'm not sure, but these are your shut-offs. So we'll have a second security blanket here in case one of these handles was to fail, these cable handles. So that's the project. What we're going to do, we're going to cut this factory right here down through here. I may have to kick this bracket back a little bit once I get this all cut out. Once I get it cut out, and then I'll have to do some programming. As you can see, it's open. We got no liquid coming out. So here goes. Bob in his glory. We're going to cut this right here.
That's a scary sight.
Goodbye, Wastemaster.
Nobody use the restroom right now. Amelia, get out of the bathroom.
You can use the restroom. It's all closed off. So this is going to go up in here like that, and then this side is going to have to be adjusted to make sure it fits. Okay, first on this 3-inch connection, we're going to make sure we clean this up. And this is ABS cleaner. This is ABS black plastic. So we're going to use this cleaner, a primer. And then this is our 3-inch that's going to go. Got the black valve on this side.
Yeah, we're in a dusty place.
We're in a dusty park. But I'm going to make sure I put enough cleaner on here to give this a good cleaning. Get it primed to accept the glue. And then we're going to put the glue on. We're going to do a liberal amount. Let's make sure we get it all coated. Real good. Stick this in. I'm going to smooth off this edge here. And that went in a good 1.5 inches or so. Here's our little offset. I did glue a little 1.5 inch piece in here to stub out. And I am gonna use our little sleeve clamp, because trying to get that all put together without having any kind of union in there, I have to disassemble its valve and get it all, and then it all had to be glued in there. It's exactly perfect. This clamp here is a low pressure clamp. It's perfectly fine for this. I actually had to put white lithium grease because it's so tight to even get on, so it's going to slide down eventually once I get this on. I did mark this with a crayon, so I know the alignment. This is offset, so it's offset to the bottom, so that's to keep these pipes in alignment. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these like we did earlier. And these parts here, you can lightly sand them with like a 400 grit sandpaper if you want. This is going to get its cleaning here. No matter how tight you get these lids, eventually this glue will dry up. But since most of the fittings in the camper, besides the PEX, are ABS, I will keep this glue in case I would ever find myself needing it. So next thing we're going to do is put this glue in here. So in the instructions it tells you to put a liberal amount. So we just want to put a good coating, and you want to make sure it's totally covered all the way. Make sure you don't have any spots. Okay, I'm just smear a little ring around here, make sure we got it seated up. And just like PVC, that stuff dries pretty quickly. To get this little 1.5 inch sleeve to slide, I'm going to have to put some grease on here because it is super tight fit. We're going to slide these two together. Not a place you want your face at. Tighten up these worm clamps. I did buy some extra stainless steel clamps, but we definitely will not need them. As tight as this fitting is here, it is not going to go anywhere. And we'll be testing out our next dump station, since this site does not have sewer on it, but it does have a dump station. We'll be testing this out on Monday when we leave the park.
Yeah, we're at Bend Sun River Park in Bend, Oregon. We got a wildfire on the other side of the mountain by us. We got smoke and dust. But it's a beautiful park. We've definitely come back here.
So as you can see, we still got movement of these valves. These valves will still move on us, so we can adjust them.
Which is nice, because sometimes you've got different situations in different parks.
And then the one thing I just wanted to remind you on these handles, and I've bunch of online stuff, these handles come off really easy. So I'm going to put some Loctite on these threads, because I see a lot of more people are just buying the handles because they've rattle going down the road. But we're going to have access to. So this black one's going to be for our black tank and our gray tank in the back, and this one's going to be for our gray up front. It'll give us security that if we would have a problem, if we'd have a problem with one of our handles, we can still shut this off. That's always been my concern with the Valterra valves and the Bayonet fittings. A lot of them, you have a shut off there. At this point, we're gonna have the front and rear tank so we can still isolate our rear and the back of the camper. And in case of an emergency, we can shut things off. Next thing is we're going to determine how far we want this to come out. The factory, as you remember, it was all the way in. I'm going to have it come out a little bit about here.
Just to make it easier.
Yeah, it's just so it's easier to hook on because it is under the slide. So most of the times we'll try to hook up this sewer connection before we run the slide out, but sometimes we don't, so I got to climb underneath here. This is going to be our next thing. We'll clean this up and we'll glue this in. Our last section, I did cut this is 3-inch ABS. I cut one 5 inches long and I glued it into the fitting. This is our LCI Wastemaster fitting, which has got the Camlock. So we're going to glue this guy in here. So we're going to use the cleaner first. This glue is a very positive connection. There's no chances this not holding because it's crazy. Lot more positive than even PVC. And if you ever use that, you know how positive it is. There's very little room for adjustment. You can't you mess up, it's gonna be
done.
All you can do. So I'm gonna have these upright for me so they don't tangle with my
handles.
My handles. And that's about it. I'm going to run my finger around here. Be a good plumber. And I did have my gloves on earlier and I don't have them on now.
Because you were cutting.
So this will be our new connection here. And then once I lock these in, we'll be able to isolate. So this is a project. This will fit lots of campers. You can get this configuration. You can get this in Valterra makes it. LaSalle, Bristol makes it, which is sold by Etrailer. These valves, like I said, these valves are replaceable. You can replace them in in the field. So this would work with any camper. It don't have to be a Wastemaster. Just we needed to isolate our 3 cable poles. We wanted to isolate this in case we would have a problem. It's going to make me feel a lot more peace of mind because there's a lot of times when I would drop the tank and the valve would be a little sticky going back in and it worries you a little bit. So
it's going to bend or something and then you're going to be screwed.
Yeah, and I lubricate. You're supposed to lubricate your cables with a dry lube so you don't attract any dirt into them. But our black is and I flush the tank regular. I keep the tank really flush, so I don't know if it's a cable issue or a valve issue where it's starting to act up, but this will give me at least a peace of mind until I can actually get that addressed, that black tank cable, so we can actually shut off our tanks.
So we hope that you like this upgrade video. It's not really repair, but more of an upgrade video.
Yep.
And we hope that you'll give us a thumbs up.
Yep, give us your projects, let us know your projects, let us know if this is a neat project or something you might tackle. Very simple. I mean, it's anytime you get a Sawzall out, it's you get a little anxious, Sawzalling on your home, but
yeah,
it's awesome. It's just got to jump in and do it. So
do those comments like Bob said. Remember to smash up that notification bell. And
yeah, the big thing is thumbs up. We want thumbs up. We want thumbs up because
moves us up.
YouTube loves the thumbs up. So whether you're subscribed or not, if you like our video content, please give us a thumbs up because that helps us a lot.
Bob, let's take it out Barbie style. So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world. Bye.